Dude, we're live, man. We're
Live.
live.
Oh, hang on. Okay. Well, that didn't work. G'day, guys. Aaron here from Shooting Stuff Australia. I'm joined with Jason. Sorry, the intro didn't work again. They've got some new feature here that we're trying to work out, but obviously it didn't work. So thank you for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it. We've got a big night of stories and everything to talk about. So before we start, if you could just hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up, and you can find Jason and I on the all the social medias networks. The links for our sites are in the description down below. So how's your week been, Jason? And you're getting ready for a hunting trip tomorrow, aren't you?
Yeah, it's bucketing down like you wouldn't believe right now, man. It's been a bad week. A lot of rain. Probably good for the farmers. I hear it's been raining in parts of Queensland and so forth, and it's been raining, I think, everywhere. So it's got to be good. But yeah, not much going on. Just planning and getting everything ready for the trip. My mate sends me a photo of got the whippersnipper out up at the campsite. He's fucking sending me photos, and he's done a good job and cleared up all the campsite, which is bloody good. So hopefully we're gonna have some good bunny busting this weekend. It's going to be awesome. Well, I'm hoping so anyway. Weather's looking a lot better. During the week, the weather was looking bad for the end of this week. On the Monday, it was like 50 to 75 mils of rain. So thankfully that's pushed on to later in the week towards Tuesday, Wednesday, and I'll be gone by then. So that's good, man. We're going to have a cracker week, make a few videos, bust a few rabbits. It's going to be fun.
Well, it has not stopped raining here. It's been absolutely shocking here. It's just been pouring down every single day. The house is a complete, where I live, it's just a mud pit. Walk outside, you're ankle deep in mud. Yeah, there'll be no shooting trips for me for a while. You can't get on any properties up here. So and I reckon it's going to be even worse next week.
Yeah, man. What's up with this weather? I mean, I'm happy. It was so weird on the weekend. It was like Saturday, it was humid. It was just horrible in Sydney. And then Sunday it was like 16 degrees and raining. So what do you do? Got to take the good with the bad, I guess.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's just it's unbelievable. But we'll get there. I've got just sorting out the PRC, and I was really keen in getting out this weekend and giving it a bit of another go with the new load data. But that won't be happening at all. We can't get onto the property to shoot, so unfortunate for that. So it'll just be trotting around in the gun room, reloading and cleaning stuff up, pretty much.
And I give that guy a shout out till we finally got the shirts, man, the Recoil shirts.
Yeah, so we asked a few weeks ago, any Australian businesses out there, we were happy to promote you guys to help you out, which we still are. So if you have any businesses out there, contact me through Instagram or the email. The links are down below, and we'll sort something out, and we will give you a plug and talk about your product. So tonight we have Recoil Designs. So they make Brisbane company. They've just started. They make all these shirts here, and we've got a few other ones here. So they come up really nice quality, good shirts, good printing on them. What else we got? So pretty happy with this, and that's the one that Jason's got on. And this one, so really nice designs, nice guy. He's in Brisbane. He has just started, young guy with a family. So we're happy to help him out. So he has a web page here that I will bring up. So this is his website. So all the designs there, and he's got more designs, and he's got female shirts coming as well. So I've talked to him a couple of times on the phone. Top bloke. So definitely, I've put the link in the description to his website where you can buy the shirts. So they're only $35 each, which isn't too bad at all for a locally designed and made shirt. So it's really good. So please, if you could go over and give him a look, it'll be really appreciative. It's really good to see local small businesses giving it a go.
I was just thinking, man, maybe you should send him a few photos. The old Silver Fox, man, get a few shirts on and get up on like one of his models, man, on his website.
Exactly. Yeah, with my beer gut.
You might sell a few more.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, definitely a very, very nice guy. And guys, please support him. Go buy one of his shirts. He's on Facebook as well. And Facebook actually took down his site 24 hours after him paying for advertising because they obviously didn't like gun stuff on there. So he's had a bit of a shaky start, but he's up and running now, and you can buy them through his website. So I definitely recommend taking a look, guys. And if you do have a business here in Australia, please get in contact. We're happy to help you out and promote your products. We're all shooters. We're all here to help each other. And I think it's something really good. We've got a couple other guys that are coming on very soon with some products. So please get in contact us. We're here to help you. You help us by watching the show. So this is the least we can do is show some of your gear off on our show. So, yep, nice guy, great website. So that's what it looks like there. If you get on and, yep, go have a look. The link in the description down below for it. So what do you think of them, Jason? Passed your test?
Yeah, it was good, man. It's I wasn't sure. I got a 3XL. The big fella got the big man, got the 3XL, man. So, it feels good. It fits. I was scared it might not fit.
Yep.
But it fits. So that's the good part.
As long as it fits in your man cans, you're happy.
Yeah, it might actually be a little bit too big. So even better, it gives me a reason to gain some more. Nah. But it's it fits good, man. Actually, good quality too. Good quality material. I like it. Certain, recoil. I like the one you've got there with the guy shooting on it with the I like that one.
Yep. Well, he's got more coming, so he's going to be sending a few more for us to show off later on. So, yeah, definitely go and help him out. He's a very nice guy and very approachable, and he's done really good. Because I'm a small business owner, I know how hard it is out there to get up and running, especially in these times that are a bit tight. I've just finished a few big jobs, and I haven't got any work on right now, so I'm just yes, I know exactly what it's like to be a business owner. It's very up and down. So definitely go and take a look and support him and tell him that you saw us on the live stream as well. And he'll be very happy. So I just noticed he's got, some headwear? Okay, that's coming soon. So he's just started basically this week. So he's got a lot more products coming. I know he's buying them in bulk, so he's storing them and at home, so he should have something that you guys like. So very, very appreciative of Recoil Designs sending this over to us. He just lives not far from me, and so it'll be good to see what else he's got coming up.
Yeah, exactly. We've got a few coming up too with few relationships we've built. I just got to organise one of the fellas there on the live stream just to bring him over the next couple of weeks to check out his Russian-made products. So we're going to do that soon too. It's been a bad couple of months for me, unfortunately. Lots going on. My parents are moving from Queensland down to Port Macquarie, so that'll be happening in a month or so or 6 weeks, and a lot of stuff to organise. But anyway, before we go in, we've got some interesting stuff to talk about. A call that I got this afternoon from a New South Wales shooter about guns we were talking about a couple of weeks ago, which was the Berica, the shotguns. But before we do that, we'd probably give a few shout-outs, I reckon, Aaron, to people in the chat. Who we got? We've got Matt Rumsey, Joseph Sherman. They're definitely regulars. Jake Craig, he's a regular. Long-range lead slinger. He's certainly becoming one of our regulars too. Epic Flyer. We've got Ram 2. Never seen Ram 2. Sorry if you have been here before, bud, but I've missed it. Our buddy Chris Miller from Victoria. We're going to be hunting all the deer on his property, so good luck. We need to keep him in the stream so we can hunt all his deer. Harps 666, Retro 8477. Who else? We got Stan Mance as well. We've got who else we got? Rod Sweetser, I should say. Sorry about that. We've got the National Shooting Counts in there. Epic Fly. JR, our buddy JR is always definitely a regular in the live stream. Tactical Penetration. Wow, I've never seen Tactical Penetration, so sorry about that, guys, if you haven't seen that.
Must be a new tactical porn site by sounds of it.
You know what? I didn't want to say it. I was thinking the exact same thing. I thought it was just something on Pornhub or something, but
it's just a niche market. Tactical porn. War porn.
We've got Matt Cato, Mick Beckers, or regulars. Tezza Shooting Ferals, he's back. Rob's Woodworking. Aaron FKHM. Sorry about that. I've not seen you before, mate.
I'll just butt in there. Rob's woodworking. If he could get hold of me through my email or my Instagram, message me because I've got a couple of questions to ask him. So if you're listening, Robbo.
I want to get through these before we do the super chats quickly.
Yep.
Oh, our buddy Daniel Andrews is back. Andy 1234777. He's back. He's
hopefully,
hopefully he's back. Feeling a bit better from his fall in Victoria a couple of weeks ago. Panaplexic, buddy. Oh, of course, our buddy Colin Penfold. He's back as well. Lone Wolf, Body Dynamite 10. Yep, I've seen you before, pal. Welcome back. Who else we got? Jeez, before that. Anyway, get that super chat, $5. Our Phantom HD. We got LJ's Adventures. Never seen before, LJ, so welcome. You probably have been here before. Bagara Operator, he's back. Nick Blackwell, I've seen him before as well. Happy Hunter. Of course, our buddy Happy Hunter as well. Christo Z. Mate, heaps to go. Grab that $5 super chat. It's about to disappear.
And thank you so much, Custard. The Custard Pie Cat. So thank you very much. G'day to you. Thank you very much for that. And guys, if you want your messages called out, you hit lay a super chat to help support the channel, and we will definitely read your stuff out. It'd be good, as long as it's not too offensive, of course. But we will read it. But we're not PC, so we don't really care about much of that stuff. And my God, one of the biggest super chats ever, William King, $159. Thank you so much, William, for that. That will definitely be going towards the ammo costs and costs of actually my camera has been playing up, so I'm going to have to invest in a new camera, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So
William, call him the King from now on. We won't even refer to him as William, just the King.
Yeah. King William. King William. All hail King William.
Yes, everyone hail and bow to King William in the comments. Let's do this.
Yes, definitely. Thank you very much for that, guys, for both of you. It doesn't matter how big or small the super chat is. I just really appreciate your support. It is a very, very kind of you. Now, I do have one thing, shout out before we get into some of these articles. We've got several articles to talk about tonight. Thank you to the NSC for making this, bringing you the podcast, the live stream tonight. Thank you very much for that, and we appreciate your support each week. And this week, they are actually starting a court case down in Tasmania to fight for the PC charger. So that starts this week, he was saying, so which will be very, very good. So once again, that's another one they can add up to their growing list. I think it's well over 13 cases now they got going. So please head over to their page and support them. The link for membership is down below. It's only $35 a year, pretty damn cheap. So go and support them. And that's something on a side note, what Jason and me talk about a bit is where the hell is the importers on all this? Now, you got the NSC fighting all this. You think the importers will be chucking some money their way and saying, hey, thanks for helping out, fighting for our guns to be sold so we can make money. But, mate, you just don't hear it, do you? It's a bit disappointing.
It's interesting if people, the guys are in there from those things, when they're dealing with these importers, I'd like to know, because this is something I haven't asked before, is the fact that are they, because obviously when, they're fighting for a shooter that's banned, so I guess technically it's not, but and fighting for the actual company, but I guess it is in a way, because if one person can't have it, nobody can really have it. So at the end of the day, I'd love to find the comments from the NSC whether the importers have been good and have been, helping and willing to stump up cash, or are they not willing to do anything at all? I'd love to find out about that, because again, really this is the hard part where it gets a little bit touchy, because on the one side it's not their responsibility technically to fight a gun ban, really, when it's the company importing it. So are the companies that are importing it happy to go with it and also invest in the action as well? Or are they more like, well, oh, nah, you can do it, but it's our gun? That's, if anyone's, I'm not saying people are doing that, but if people are doing that, that'd be pretty low in my opinion. So I wouldn't be inclined, if I was, the NSC pushing that to continue helping out a company that doesn't even want to fight for their own product. So that would say really a lot about that. So I hope not.
There you go. Right there.
So hang on, is that nope as in they're not helping out, or which one is it? I don't know.
Dead silence.
Okay, well,
I think that pretty much speaks for itself, doesn't it?
so people are getting their own guns banned, and they've got another organisation fighting on their behalf for their gun. They're not fighting at all, mate. I'm never ceased to be amazed in this industry, man. I really am. Like, what an absolute shame. What an absolute shame.
Well, I gotta say, this entire industry. I thought the building trade was bad, but I think the gun industry is just the not the public and not the gun shops. Most of the gun shops are really good, and they're fighting to keep their doors open on very minimal markups compared to what these wholesalers get. We're going to do a show on this because it's something that Jason and me actually do feel strongly about, because we don't think that the shooting's got long to go, because things are just getting too pricey. A lot of people can't afford a lot of the shooting. They can't afford to get into it, or they can't afford to maintain it, because the price is just skyrocketing compared to what you can buy overseas. The amount of messages I get from people, and Jason's the same, of people buying stuff from overseas, basically America, especially now the dollar's getting our dollar's getting a bit stronger, is phenomenal. That's going, why am I spending it in Australia where I can get it literally for half the price, scopes and everything, from over in America, from websites, and they have no problems. It's just unbelievable. So I think the shooting's going to pretty much price itself out of the market in Australia coming very soon. I think people don't have that sort of money to spend this stuff. And when you can buy stuff for half the price overseas, and I'm getting all these messages from people saying that's exactly what they're doing on accessories and scopes, it's just, I think some of these wholesalers need to wake up to themselves and realize you can't.
And the whole part with that too is, again, as the dollar gets stronger, your money goes a lot further too. So it's, like I can understand, I always say try and support the gun shops and that. It's always good. But I mean, when you start talking about 50, 80, 90, 100%, I got to admit, man, it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard to say no when I can get two, if I can get two scopes for the price of one. Like it's I mean, what do you do? Like, when again, if the dollar gets on par like it was under the Obama administration, you're doing a lot better. Now you're about what, 28, 29, 30%. Difference in price because of the dollar. But if that evens out at, a dollar for a dollar, I can understand why people do it. And again, people aren't, like I said, we got all right jobs. We do okay. We're not we're not on millions of dollars or anything like that crazy amount. We're not, I'm not even on six figures or anything, but I earn decent money. But I can't afford it. When you talk about there's a 50 or 60% decrease in price, 80%, 90%, sometimes upwards of way more than 100%. It's just the choice is easy for me because I can't afford. I can't afford big dollars, for something I can buy twice the price of. So I get it. This is not us saying. We get these messages all the time. I can't afford it. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And, that was the individual.
Well, I've had guys saying that they were looking at the Vortex, the PST Gen 2s, like the one I've got on my Berica position. They're looking at buying that, but for the same amount of money, they can buy that in Australia. They can upgrade to the top-of-the-line Razor ones for basically the same price as what you pay for the Viper here in Australia. So to them, it's a no-brainer. They're buying the Vipers and saving like $1,500 and on that because, it's a shame because I'm really about supporting shops and supporting Australian business. And it is not, I can tell you now, it's not the gun shop's fault. It's not the gun shop's fault. They don't make big bucks on new guns and accessories. They just don't make big bucks. I know that for sure. It's definitely, there's too many hands in the pie in this country. And we'll go into a whole show on this because we got a lot of information and stuff, but that's not what tonight's show is about. But it's just a bit of a shame.
Anyway, let me say one thing here. Chris Miller says, he goes, Lowell, no help from, this is obviously talking about the importers fighting for their own guns, the ones, and obviously there's the smaller companies. Some of these are the ones that only bring in maybe one or two types of guns or a shotgun or whatever. And it says no help. I think they just don't want to rock the boat. So all their guns don't get banned and they get picked on by the police. Well, I can get that. But also, too, I mean, what do they think's going to happen? They ban one gun and then what they think, well, if I just shut up now, they won't ban my other guns. I mean, I agree with what you're saying. Definitely agree with what you're saying, but same thing too. Like, what do they think? They ban one, they just keep coming after you again and again and again. So but both avenues are really a road to nowhere, because, they go, well, they didn't put up a fight, so we'll just ban more of their guns. And then there's no backlash. There's no fight from any of them. So they just think they can keep on doing it. And, it doesn't surprise me, really, does it?
Well, the first story that you're going to talk about is that prime example that we'll talk about during this. I'll mention it during the actual story that you're going to talk about that you received today. But first, thank you to Stan Mace for his $22.99 live stream. Thank you very, very much for that donation. Really appreciate it. So the first one that's just come, it's not the main story that I talked about, because I get this already like last night or this morning. This morning I did the stuff before we even heard about the first story.
I'll do my one first about the call before we do the story.
We'll do that. The first one is we just found out directly from the guy involved only about 2 hours ago, I think it was.
Yeah.
So, Jason, you tell what it is.
Yeah, he's a nice fella. So we were talking about the Berica. Remember the shotguns in New South Wales that were we thought weren't banned. They were trying to, then they weren't, then they were, then they weren't. And then one of them was banned, and then none of them were banned. And then anyway, so he bought, and I've got the details, and this is a really bad situation for basically everybody involved. So he basically, from one of the gun shops in Queensland, he bought the Berica Urban Tactical, if that's the one, if I've got it correct. I'm just going through the messages now. It's the Urban Tactical. So he ordered it. He sent me the screenshot. I'm looking at it here right now, and it says the Berica Desert Storm Tactical Shotgun Urban Tactical 12 gauge, available for sale in all states except WA. So when he rang me, I was on the phone looking at it. And they've updated it fairly quickly, saying basically it's now it's available in every state other than WA, Tas, New South Wales. I don't have the other screenshot, but they've changed it already. I think it was South Australia was the other one. Anyway, so he rocks down to the shop. This is a day or so ago, not even that. Gets the gun. It's signed over to his name. It's all good. Walks out of the shop. They obviously done the registration process. Anyway, I think he gets a call a couple of hours later. I don't know how long later. It was very quickly. The registry's basically called. We've got to get that gun back off you straight away. And he's like, what the hell? Well, basically he's probably about, half hour, 45 minutes from the gun shop. This is late in the afternoon. Gun shop's about to close. He goes, well, I can't get there then. You know what I mean? You get to organise something. I can't get it back to you today. It's just not feasible. Anyway, he said, yeah, you got 24 hours to get it back to the gun shop by, what's today, 17th. That'll be the 18th at 6 p.m. If it's not returned by then, you obviously know what's going to happen. They'll be obviously taking action. So he called the gun shop in Queensland and said, well, I've not touched the firearm, and I'd like to get people's comments about this, what they think in the comments. And they've said, well, basically the gun's secondhand now, so nothing we can really do, but they did offer, which was kind of them, I guess, basically a store credit for the exact amount that he pays. Obviously, he's not going to get the $60 shipping fee back. He's not going to get the transfer fund back. The gun shop here in Sydney did do a pretty good job and said it's a shit go, so we're not going to charge you to transfer it back into our name, but we're obviously not going to pay to get it back to the shop in Queensland. So right now he's probably out of pocket about $120 so far. And this is what they can do. So we need to find more details next week about which one of these guns are actually banned, because clearly the website said it wasn't banned in New South Wales. Then it was. Obviously, after he's called the shop and said, what's going on? So, what do you do in this situation? He's lost money. He's lost $120 in shipping costs, just to be told after 2 hours about legally getting the gun signed in his name. Obviously, it's come through on the registry somehow and it's flagged, and they've just called the shop and said, nah, get this gun back right now. And it's like, well, is it banned or is it not banned? We thought they weren't banned. So what on earth's going on here? This is just the crap that we have to deal with. He's out of pocket. Gun shop, I mean, again, I won't name the shop or anything because I don't think they've done anything wrong, even though they're giving a store credit. Let's be honest, they'll sell the gun brand new again to some other poor schmuck, but then only want to give the guy a store credit. So I don't think that's great, to be brutally honest. We probably should name them, but, I won't do that just out of respect. But anyway, and it's just a shit situation. The gun shop here in Sydney didn't do anything wrong. It was fine at the time. So what on earth do you do? What on earth do you do? Why are these guns being signed into people's names? No problem. And then all of a sudden, 2 hours later, they're getting called up and say, mate, bring it back, bring it back. It's like ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think he should have just got his money back, refunded to him, not the store credit as well. because he didn't use the gun. And what happens if it was like if it was Queensland? It would have taken ages for them to figure this one out. So he could have been using it for ages, and it was a well-used gun, so they wouldn't even offer him the store credit, and it's no fault of his.
Well, that's the point. He hadn't even removed because, mate, still got the stickers. It's still got the. Cause I know the shop in particular that he picked it up from. I mean, they put the around the trigger guard. They put like the serial number, and they put it on like a little stamp, and it goes around the trigger guard like a piece of material or whatever it is, paper or cardboard, whatever it is. You know what I mean? And he's still got the stickers all on. I've not even removed it from the box, and the gun shop's refusing it. No, now I know it's not the gun shop's problem in Queensland, mate. Everyone's been blindsided by this, but they will sell the gun brand new back to another customer. So there's no doubt about that. So I guess it's good they've given him a store credit, but again, laws are different on, purchases and stuff like that in, Queensland versus New South Wales and, consumer laws and things such as those things. So people just need to be careful. Let us know in the comments what you guys think. I mean, it's a shit go. I don't think anyone's really responsible, and we probably need to direct the blame where it's blamed, should be blamed, is again, needless to say, at the poor running of the firearms registry in New South Wales. Again, how was the gun sold to someone? I got email again from one of the dealers a couple of weeks ago about that, which ones were going to be banned and it wasn't banned, and these are the ones they can sell. And it's like, where the gun shop in Queensland may be responsible is that if it was already banned in New South Wales, then why wasn't the site upgraded? Why was it sent to New South Wales when it was clearly banned? I mean, again, there's partly an onus on them to make sure the gun was legal, because then you would have illegally sent a gun into New South Wales you couldn't send in. So anyway, it's a shit situation for everybody involved. Again, we're getting screwed as per usual, and I just don't see any stopping of that in sight anytime into the near future. And again, keep saying it's only going to get worse.
No, exactly. And you say, what we're going to say before was that this is the prime example. Wholesalers bowing down to the police and the and a border force to get their guns in, like the Berica guy. He spent 40 grand of his own money to change the entire action because the cops didn't like it. So he did all that, bowed down to them, did exactly what they asked, and he's probably thinking, oh, well, I've done this, so they're going to leave me alone now, and then they still fuck him over. So he does everything, spends 40 grand to get them all legal in New South Wales, and they still take it off him. So it's just like there's no point in sucking up to these guys. No matter how much you suck up to them, they don't care. They're going to take your guns if they want to. They don't care that you suck up to them, and they're probably laughing all the way to the smoko shed, thinking, look at this guy. He sucked up to us. He fucking spent all his money getting this gun all prepared for what we said. And we're going to ban it anyway. It's just
one sec. Everyone's asking. They must have tuned in late from the stream. This is why you got to tune in from the beginning, folks. It's the Berica 12 gauge straight pull urban tactical. And we're talking about New South Wales here. So again, at least I don't think anyone's really at fault. It's just a shit situation from everyone. I get the shop doesn't want to go, oh, well, what can we do? And I get that. I totally get that. It's just a really shit situation. But this guy's out of pocket. But I guess we need to lay blame again where it should be blamed, at these governments, allowing these guns in, not saying it's banning New South Wales, getting it sent down. And then all of a sudden, mate, within 2 hours of selling it to the person, well, you better get it back as soon as possible. Like, what an absolute screw around.
Yeah. Exactly. So it is actually the Black Ops. So the Urban Tactical is just the color. So it's a whole range. It'll be the whole range of the Black Ops, I guess. I'm looking at it here. It's got, the Desert Tan one. They got a chrome one, like a silver one, Navy SEAL. Yeah. So this is what it all is. I'll bring it up on screen so people can see.
I got a funny one here too. I think it's my buddy. Lancelot, he goes, oh shit, I thought it was a flashlight. Well, mate, we wish we might have got more joy out of a flashlight, that's for sure, sir. You know what I mean? But
exactly. So
again, this is the calls we're getting again. People, and I spoke to this guy probably about a year ago, for really, really friendly, nice fella. That's it. Go have a look at the Urban Tactical.
Okay, shit.
There it is, right in the middle. Left that one right now. Down one. Oh, you missed it. Go back.
Is that there?
Down one. No.
That's right there. That's it there.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Berica.
I had the other one too on that left-hand side, the desert tan camo. Far
Oh,
left.
yeah. Yep. Well, they got them all. There's the
Yep.
that one. That's actually the Desert Storm. That one. So yep. So they're all the same model, just different colours. So
Yeah.
So here they all are here.
It's a bit hard
can't
to
get
see
those.
with the it's only small text. I can only just read it.
Yep. So unfortunately, that's what they've done. And these were brought into New South Wales. This is the dumbest thing. They're brought into New South Wales, made New South Wales compliant now, and they still ban them. It's just what the hell do you do? It's unbelievable. It really is. So yeah, it's just so if you got one, it's getting to the point now where if you want to buy a gun, mainly in New South Wales and Western Australia and well, basically anywhere apart from Northern Territory and Queensland, pretty much, is you have to actually do your investigation and see if you can actually own them. It's getting ridiculous. You want to buy something, then you got to see if they're actually banned in Australia before you do anything.
Yeah, well, that's right too. And like Jason was saying here in the comments, doesn't pay to suck up at all. Yeah, I tend to agree. It's just, I just want to be left alone. We just want to go about our business. We're legal, law-abiding people, and we just keep getting trodden on. And then when you do take them to court, they make it out somehow you're the bad guy. Like, really? We just fight, like we're supposed to just succumb and bow down on our knees and put our head down? Like, sorry, it's just not going to happen. So I hope we, again, that's what I said. You've got to join the organizations that are fighting for you. None of this petition crap that doesn't do a single goddamn thing. I got another email again last week with 2,500 signatures off a petition. Oh, but they're going to read it in Parliament. Oh, are they? Congratulations. They're going to read it in Parliament. Congratulations. They're going to do 12/5 of stuff all. Trust me, they'll look at, but they'll get to debate it. Name one time in 10 years of me and Aaron doing this show or me doing a podcast or Aaron doing a video that a petition has ever worked. Not once, guys. Zero. So the only way to do it is starting legal action. That's it. We've never done it, and we're starting on that road thing. So you got to join the organizations. They can't do it on $35. That's a fact, that we've got to be spending money. We're going to be putting in,
Okay. And thank you to Chris Taylor for the $25 one. And that's exactly right. It is, we've got to join. So far, it's only the NEC is really the only ones helping shooters out of what I can see. So they're definitely the ones worth joining up to. And of course, the links are down below. And they've been good friends to the show, so why not support them? You can donate if you want to donate more. That's not a problem. But yes, it does.
Good in WA either, based on what we just saw at the election. I mean, we'll probably talk about that a little bit later as well. Looks like a bit of a bloody whitewash mate, sorry, I love the WA guys that are watching. You're all great shooters. You're all great people, but you wouldn't see me in WA for pittance, man. Absolute pittance, you poor buggers. Like, just terrible, man. Terrible.
Yep. And talking about how useless petitions are, look at the most epic failed petition, I think, in history. It came out of the Fisher and Shooters Party, and this is how unpopular they seem to be now. They got a grand total of 36 signatures on the duck hunting petition this week, and the Liberals of all people who love banning our guns, who kicked this entire shit show off on gun control in Australia, they actually petitioned against the duck hunting as well, and they got 6,000. An anti-gun party got 6,000 petitions, more than what a so-called pro-gun did, who got 36 signatures. That's how little people actually follow the Fisher and Shooters Party. I think they've just had enough of all their inaction over all the years. And after the Western Australian election in the weekend, mate, they're a dead party. They're finished, washed up, mate. So it looked like they may not even win the one seat that they're going for.
Yeah, it's poor buggers in WA, man. What a tragedy. Yeah. What an absolute tragedy it really is. And, what to do. And this is why we've kept on saying, this is why our what we've been saying probably for how long, 6, 12 months now, probably 12 months at least, is that the legal action, I think, is the way forward. Probably not going to win them all, may not win half, may not even win 20%, but we're doing all right at the start. We've started pretty well, and I think that's the way forward now. It's like, people say, well, you got to vote for them. Yeah, true. But, we've also been saying that for 20 years, guys, haven't we? We've been saying, oh, we need more in Parliament. Like, we're getting less now, guys. We're actually getting less. People are actually losing their positions. In WA, for an example, we had Aaron Stonehouse on the show last week. Yeah, we always knew it was going to be a tough gig. Was most likely not going to get in. Doesn't look to be returning. As far as I'm aware from the few of the information I'm seeing on some of the websites, I think Rick Mazza, who was in agricultural region or mining and pastoral agricultural, he switched over to was it Southwest or the Southern region. He's not going to get his position back, and they're barely just hanging on to the agricultural region. So and no one else, as far as I've seen, has been elected. So it's not. Again, we're supposed to be increasing every 4 years, guys, not going in reverse. And just what we keep saying, this is not the way forward. We've been saying this for 25 years now. And, of course, you'll get the rusted-ons. Oh, no, this and that. Okay, fine, man. The proof is in the pudding, guys. This should be proof that watching the show and the stuff we're saying week in and week out, it's all coming true. And, it's just... yeah, what do you say, man? It's just getting worse and worse and worse. We're actually losing people in Parliament. So whether it's due to, massive amount of inaction, whether shooters don't believe they're getting a good deal, I don't know. That's why now it's like I don't even hardly talk about that stuff anymore, especially on my show. It's all just wasted time. I'd rather talk about the legal action and what results we're getting on that front and spending that money, to move forward with actions against the government and the police. I think that's really the way forward.
Whoops.
If we go to 25 years and we haven't got, we're basically not going to have any guns left because, in the next 10 to 15 years, you'll be talking about 40 years worth of gun control. It'll be game over by that stage, if it's not game over already.
Yeah, well, I think in Western Australia, it is pretty much game over now. Most notorious for gun control over there. And they've just won by an absolute landslide. What the Liberals got only a handful of seats compared to a monster landslide to Labor, and are the cause of all the gun bans over there. I really do think, any form of freedom of shooting over there is going to be limited even more. You'll be lucky to own a 22 over there. I think it's just not good at all. Not good.
NSC said the results are in. When I looked last, I thought it was 52 to Labor, 3 to Liberal, 4 to National. So basically, 52 to 7 or somewhere around there. But now it's 51 seats to the Labor, Libs 2, and Nats 4. So basically, the National Liberal National Party doesn't even exist in WA. How on that sort of that many people? You got to get enough money to advocate and run campaigns on that. So that's basically no money, unless they over there. I'm not sure in WA whether they get a monetary cost per vote to the party. I know they do in Victoria now, but I'm not sure if that actually happens in WA. So again, they're basically they're basically a minor party in WA. Like, what on earth were they thinking in WA? Explain it to me. Explain it, guys, from WA. What am I missing here? McGowan is an absolute dick. What am I missing? I must be missing something.
Well, here's a good one from Aaron Smith. This is pathetic. The straight pull is a fucking toy here in Texas. Exactly. Well, wait to the third story we're about to talk about tonight, and you're going to be absolutely dumbfounded what has happened over here. So, yep, exactly. That's what we say all the time. It's a straight pull. It's just beyond a joke, dude. Our gun laws are just absolute joke. That's why when I get on to 3 times I've been on the Fit and Fire live stream in the US, and they're always absolutely dumbfounded. Every time I talk about gun laws and what's been banned here, they're absolutely dumbfounded. They really, really are. So,
well, I guess you're right about one thing. I guess you said this was pretty much going to happen. I mean, you were saying that you're copying a bit of a bollocking on Facebook with some of the comments that I saw, and people were getting angry about, your comments and all that. But again, unfortunately, it's just found to be true. We didn't excel In fact, we didn't do well at all. Like, you know, we're probably going to be, instead of having maybe an extra person to 3, we're now looking at back to 1. We had 2. Now we're looking at possibly back to 1. And even that seat's not even guaranteed at the moment. I'll find a bit more details here. I'm just going to go while you're talking, Aaron. I'm going to go to one of the sites because I can read some stuff off the sites.
Yep. Okay. So I did have one up here. I think we did talk about what someone said we should all migrate to one actual state, all the gun owners, and we will have a chance of repealing a lot of these gun laws because there'll be 1 or 2 million gun owners in that state. Yeah, that'll be great. All move up to Queensland. Better weather, less taxes, and it's cheaper way of living up here, which would be good. So yeah, if that would happen, but unfortunately, people have jobs in these states. It's just like being in the US and California. Unfortunately, the gun owners over here, they have jobs, careers, and families. It's just not that easy to pack up their lives and move somewhere else. So unfortunately, some people just get the bad end of the stick, really, which is a real shame. Here we go.
Here we go. Do you want me to tackle this one? So here we go. I'm just looking. This is Upper House, obviously in WA. Yep. Just going to so agricultural. It says expected result: 3 Labor, 2 Nationals, 1 Liberal. So, as far as I'm aware, I thought Rick Mazza didn't vacate, but he ran in a different region. He was in agricultural. Correct me if I'm wrong, people, or was he in mining and pastoral? But I've read the articles and it said agricultural. So he moved out of that and someone else took his position. So 3 Labor, 2 Nationals, 1 Liberal in agricultural region. East Metro, expected 4 Labor, 1 Liberal, and the last seat potentially 2 Labor and the legalised cannabis for the final seat. Mining and pastoral, expected result, 4 Labor, 1 National. Last seat, either Shooters Fishers or Daylight Savings Party. Daylight Savings Party. So
imagine getting beaten by them.
Here we go. So it says here, Tuesday, 2 p.m. Well, here we go, guys. It's not looking good here. He's just actually followed up on the website. So Monday on night, he said, a reader asked me what happens if Daylight Savings Party is excluded, you know, from the preferences, which seems unlikely. And it says the answer to that is the Liberals for Climate, aka the Flux Party, will take their place in the preference spiral and potentially win. Anyway, he's got a Tuesday update at 2 p.m. The seat has now been flipped to the Daylight Savings Party on the calculator with 38.8% counted. The Shooters are behind 0.45% on the calculator, probably more in reality. So, well, that's not good. That means we're lost. We potentially could lose that one, but it's still in play at the moment. North Metro region, 4 Labor, 2 Liberal. Possibility of a second Liberal seat to fall to the Australian Christians. So that's in South Metropolitan. At this stage, 4 Labor, 1 Liberal, 1 Green. But the Green seat, he says, requires checking. And then in the Southwest, which I think is where Rick Mazza from SFP ran, at the moment, it is expected result is 3 Labor, 1 Liberal, plus 2 seats in doubt, potentially going to the legalised cannabis party. Geez, they're doing well, the bloody legalised cannabis party. The Greens or Labor. 1 currently Nationals, but maybe Labor or someone else. He's not 100% sure. Anyway, so Tuesday, 2 p.m. for Southwest, he said legalised cannabis still have their spiral intact at the moment, but there is a second pathway for Labor. So that could go to Labor as well. So anyway, there's a bit of information for you. So if it plays out, as this guy said, and apparently from what I'm hearing, this guy, Dr. Kevin Bonham, is actually pretty well known in this sort of stuff. Complete election wipeout of all pro-gun political parties potentially in Western Australia. So from basically 2 to 0. So that's what we're looking at, guys. That's the reality, unfortunately, at the moment. Again, why I keep saying is not to rely on politicians. I've been saying it now for about 12 months. This is not a, I told you so. I don't know what is. I hate it. I wish I wanted to see these guys get in, but, I wanted to see them improve on those results. But it is what it is, guys. You got to do the right preferences, and clearly that didn't pay off. And the whole Labor thing, it was just bad juju for everybody involved. So this is what you get. This is what you get, I guess, when you do these certain things and you team up with certain parties. And what are we going to get? We teamed up with a party. We got negative publicity, for an example, right? That's fine. Okay. Aaron's a bit more harder on that, but I'm like, if you can get elected what could Labor potentially give us? Well, Labor's not going to give us anything because they just washed us all out. We don't even have a seat to even try and get anything. So what a shit show, mate. What a fucking shit show.
Oh, it definitely was. It definitely was. So why don't we move on to a positive story before we get into the other two bad stories? So this is involving New South Wales again, and this is what the original topic was for tonight. So you would have seen the review I did on the MH12, the world's first double barrel shotgun. So it's double barrel tactical straight pull shotgun. So that was all New South Wales compliant, pin, stock, the whole 9 yard passed. So I'm actually in contact with the importer, and we talked to them a bit, and I reached out to them today because I've had a couple of messages of people saying they've been in New South Wales and they have actually gone to buy one and the shops have told them that they can't own it at all. And so they've contacted me, said we saw your review and we want to buy one, and the shops are telling them they can't have them. So I contacted the importers and said, what is going on? I thought they were all legal, and here's two people so far have told me that they can't have, the shop's telling them they can't have them. Well, they said, okay, here we go. I've got the notes here. 7 weeks ago, they took it into the registry and for forensic and analysing or whatever. Meant to be there for 24 hours, and they'll have a yes or no answer. It's now been 7 weeks with no yes or no answer. So right now, I was told that it is legal to sell and buy in New South Wales. The only reason you can't get one right now is because they sell out almost straight away, and they got another shipment on the water that will be up for sale in 6 weeks' time. So they're obviously trying to come up with something. They can't find something easy to ban it on, so they just haven't given them an answer. So I heard that they may be trying down, it looks like a military rifle. And so you show me what military in the world uses a double barrel straight pull shotgun. No one uses them at all. No military uses them. So they probably can't get off on that one. And it doesn't look like an AR-15, which is the big thing that they seem to ban all the guns on, is the AR-15 looks. So that's what's happened over there. But they can't, once again, you can buy it in every state apart from Tasmania and WA. And Tasmania seem to be, unfortunately, just following the lead of WA lately, haven't they? So if you do want a MH12 straight pull double barrel gun, I enjoyed it. I liked it, and it worked for me. It didn't jam up or go wrong or anything. It was a lot of fun. A bit on the heavier side, but if you're going to shoot out of a car or a quad, not a problem. So if you want one in New South Wales, right now you are allowed to have them. They're not banned. So that's one bit of good news for you guys.
Can't buy one.
Yeah, you got to go on the list in 6 weeks' time. You can have one. So so that's the good news for New South Wales. It's not banned.
Epic Flyer says, how the F is WA painted absolutely red with Labor? Oh man, it's just can you believe it? Can you believe how bad things have gotten? That I remember. Hey, Aaron Stonehouse said when he was on a couple of weeks ago, he was going to absolutely romp it in. But I didn't think even he thought it was going to be this bad. It's just unbelievable, man. Wow, WA, what were they thinking? But anyway, feel sorry for all our shooting friends and live stream watchers over in WA. Must be just bloody terrible at the moment to be living in WA with these bloody atrocious laws. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what are we up to? 20 odd gun bans in the last 12 months in WA. It's just ridiculous. It was another 4 or 5 a few weeks ago we reported on, and there was what was that? It was 12 or 14 in one hit last year, 7 in one day last year as well. It just never ends over there. It's just, so unfortunately, guys, if you want to find out what's going to be happening in future, you're going to have to watch the live streams each week, because we're the only people actually bringing you this sort of information. And it's getting to the stage now where this channel is the only channel that are actually prepared to talk about this. The other channels tend to shy away from all this sort of news because yeah, well, they're basically just FUDs, I reckon. So, keep watching this live stream, and we'll keep updating you on what's happening around the country.
Yeah, someone did say the Liberal Party had an extreme left-wing leader who wanted, I did read this too, net zero carbon emissions by 2030 and push the global warming hoax, which is why they lost. So, and I did see that George Christensen from Queensland, from the Nationals, say, basically the right, go woke, go broke. And, technically that's an arm of his own party. So, it's true. Yeah, people, they thought, well, and this is the attitude. This is a little bit the attitude in the firearms parties as well. It was like, well, who else are you going to vote for? That tends to be a little bit of the attitude, like, well, who else are you going to vote for? So you'll have to vote for us. You've got no one else. Who else is going to fight for you? Well, they just learned a very, very valuable lesson that conservative people in WA still won't vote for you, and you'll be absolutely smashed at the election. And that's exactly what happened. So what are they going to do now? Blame their voters, going, well, you didn't stand up for us on the day. Well, of course, because you didn't stand up for their values. Well, what do you expect?
Yeah, well, as I said to you the other day, your next election, you never know. Labor could get it, and it'll be almost a whitewash throughout all the states now with Labor's, especially if New South Wales falls to the communists. We got the Communist Party up here, Victoria, WA. But what's in South Australia? Is they the commies down there or what?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I thought it was Labor, wasn't it? South Australia.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just a communist state, just like the rest of us.
Stephen Marshall. Hello, Stephen Marshall. Where's Stephen Marshall? He's Labor, isn't he? I'm pretty sure. Is he not? Stephen. Oh, no. Marshall became the leader of the Liberal Party. My apologies. Liberal Party.
Yep. Okay. Well, they're hanging in there. So, let's just hope. Let's hope, I guess, some ways you don't get the Communist Party down there either, where you are. It's funny, you got the Liberals who are meant to be conservative, but you're getting nailed with a lot of the gun bans, and we're a communist state up here in Queensland, and we're not getting any gun bans, really.
Oh, man, it's a really bad thing, isn't it? Like, what do we do? I guess, again, which we're trying our best with the legal actions, but let us know in the comments what you guys think. We'll put a few up. What do you think the way forward is, guys? Is it the political route that we've been saying that's no good? Is it the legal route? What do you think? Have we got no hope at all? Is there hope for the future? Let us know. We'll put a couple of your comments up in the comments on the screen.
Yeah, well, this is a bit of a sore point with Jason because I won the green card lottery. Josh says, I think it's time to put my name into the green card lottery and move to the States. Yeah, I won that out of the blue years ago, but I wasn't in any position to move over there, and it actually was going to cost quite a lot of money to actually move over there with no employment. So, yeah.
You disappoint me at every turn, man. I just cannot believe it. I cannot believe you had a green card to the States and you just basically pissed on it. It's like, I just can't believe it, man.
Well, you had to.
Absolutely shocking. Of all the things you've done that are shocking, this, people think, blowing up this or a bear or something might have been bad. But this takes the cake. I'm sorry. This takes the cake.
Well, there was a few more catches. You just don't get it and go over there. You got to have a certain amount of money still, and you got to go over there and you got to get employment. There was all these other things as well. It just wasn't get it and you just wander in, then go on the dole sort of thing. It wasn't all that simple. And plus, it costs a lot. It was like $4,000 to actually apply for the green card at the time. And I only had just moved to this country, so I didn't really have that sort of money because I was just starting out all over again. But
don't make excuses, mate. Don't make excuses.
Yeah. Here we go. Unscrupulous Shooting Stuff Australia. If you're going to move to the States, do your research and find a gun-friendly state. Yeah, probably Texas, or go see my mate Hootie down in Tennessee would be a place. It'd definitely be a southern state.
Kansas is good. Kansas, Arizona.
Yeah, well, Mark from Fit and Fire, he's in Kansas and he loves it. But I want a southern state because I want to get me a General Lee with a Confederate flag on top.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be me. But yes, it's a bit of it's definitely a bit of a shame out there, and Yeah, well, that was some good news, I guess. The Berica isn't banned. Not the Berica, the MH12's not banned for now, and down there. And it's been 7 weeks. It's been 24 hours to come to a conclusion. Obviously, they can't find anything to get them on it. So I think, well, don't hold me to my words, but at this stage, it's looking pretty good at staying that way. If it's been 7 weeks and they can't find anything.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll probably go into that article you've got there too before we start getting that finished and read.
Yes, and we've got something on South Australia as well we've got to talk about. So here we go. Just came in today, well, not long ago at 2:30 p.m. I will bring this up. Sydney man Blake Davis jailed for samurai sword killer of a rapper. So, yeah, basically this guy here confronted a guy who was stealing his girlfriend's handbag, and and he got punched in the face with a knuckle dusters. And I saw another report had him all split open. So he grabbed the first thing. He said there's blood in his eyes, and all he heard was the screams of his girlfriend. And he ran outside, grabbed the first thing, chasing him because the actual offenders had run off. And he just grabbed a first thing, which was a samurai sword, and struck the guy in the head and killed him. And he's been done for manslaughter, 5 years in prison, but he's got time served. He's looked like he's spending about another 2 years in prison. Absolutely pathetic, if you ask me.
The only one thing they're getting him on is he seemed to be pretty bad. He was apparently really badly hopped up on drugs. He's been sentenced to 5 years and 3 months, but total, like obviously, just about 2.5 years in prison. The 30-year-old was last year cleared of murder, but found guilty of manslaughter by a jury over the August 2018 death of this rapper. Armed with knuckle dusters and a replica gun, well, that would have been enough for me. But anyway, McKee punched Davis and threatened his girlfriend, Hannah Quinn, in their inner city granny flat at Forest Lodge. This is probably where I wouldn't recommend people do this. This is where the conjecture was. The court heard Quinn chased McKee down the street after he snatched her bag. So that must be the girlfriend. So she's obviously chased him as well. When the boyfriend caught up, he cracked McKee's skull with the sword. So probably not the best thing to do that, guys. Like the best thing to chase someone, let the authorities take control of it. But, when someone's there, you've been knocked around the head with knuckle dusters, you got blood in your eyes, you got a cracked out junkie at your house. You obviously don't think straight. You obviously don't think straight about what you're doing. Hence, he probably wasn't, found guilty of murder, which I think he shouldn't have been as well. And this is interesting here. It says, this is from the judge. He goes, I've left no doubt that the lives of both McKee family and Davis family have been shattered forever as of the results that occurred on the Hereford Street Forest Lodge. I'm just looking here. Yeah, the guy was crying when he learned of his fate. I'm just going down. There's some interesting parts down here which I want to read. He sounded sorry, guys. I'm just trying to. So they're saying this is a moderately serious case of manslaughter by excessive self-defense. How do you have excessive self-defense? You know what I mean? I don't really understand that term. I do, but it's just stupid. But I just want to read. Aaron, do you want to go on for a sec? I just want to read some part that I'm trying to find.
Yeah, the judge was satisfied McKee, which was the drugged-up scumbag, did not pose an immediate threat to Quinn, such as to render the sword strike a reasonable response. However, she soundly rejected the Crown's case that Davis murdered McKee in cold blood. Yeah, just trying to push their crap. These prosecutors just want to get people to justify their jobs at no matter what cost. They don't care about the ramifications on these people's lives as long as it keeps them in a job. And we've heard that several times from people we've talked to who have been victims of crime and had things like this done to them.
This is the part here, man. It goes, in a victim impact statement, McKee, who was the druggie, his partner, Averill Bowers, told the struggle to give birth and to raise their son after his death. And then she went on to say, when you took Jet's life, which is Jet McKee, the guy that broke into the house, you didn't just end his existence. You robbed a son of a father and myself of a partner. Well, you don't break into people's houses with fake guns cracked out on drugs, trying to rob them, and people don't know what you're there for. here we go. And she says, but throughout this long and drawn out ordeal, you have shockingly and disturbingly portrayed yourself as victims. Well, of course they are. They were at their homes enjoying probably a meal, waiting to go to bed to return to work in the morning, only to have a cracked out junkie with a fake. How do they want to know it was a fake gun? Like, come on, man. She then goes on to say, I feel that you have used every tactic at your disposal to vindicate yourself while vilifying Jet. Well, don't rob people's houses with fake guns cracked out on all types of substances. This just seems like common sense. Again, this is what they do. The media starts to portray these junkies and that. Again, I hope they get help. I really do. You should have tried to seek help from someone, and his partner should have been trying to seek out. Didn't she know where her partner was when he was breaking into homes? I mean, was he just out for the night, or she didn't care heavily? She was obviously possibly pregnant at the time. What was the situation? Why was the guy out? Didn't she know where her partner was? Again, stupid.
And why? And why would she want a junkie raising their child? For a start, why would she want some junkie raising their child? Just pathetic. This does not help his case here. Davidson Quinn, that's a guy who defended himself, spent days on the run in hotels before handing themselves in. Well, that's probably not a good look doing that. So I wouldn't really recommend them doing that at all.
Yeah, don't chase someone down the street. That's the advice I'll give you straight away. Don't do that.
Don't be a shithead breaking into people's houses. You don't know what other people can do to you. It's pretty simple. I mean, don't break the laws.
When you've just been, dusted up with a pair of knuckle dusters in the face, and you've just probably been knocked pretty hard. You got a guy iced out on, that probably have, they're basically strong as bloody chimpanzees when they're all bloody gorillas when they're, hopped up on drugs and especially iced. I mean, that's a bit of an epidemic, isn't it? And you run into someone's house and you're busting him up with, a knuckle dusters, you got a fake gun. I mean, I'd be terrified, man. Who wants to be in that situation? You're sitting at home, watching a movie, and whatever they're doing, and you get, you got a guy breaking into your home with a fake gun, smashing you around the head. Like, come on, man, this is, that's crazy. But one of the guys says here in the comments, once you're fleeing, you are the aggressor. Listen, in my utopia, that wouldn't be a crime. But I guess. What do you do, man? What do you do? People aren't thinking straight. I guess hence why he didn't get murdered. I wouldn't have. If I was on that jury, I wouldn't have convicted him of that crime. But I would just say, well, again, what do people expect? I mean, again, the guy just got smacked around the head. You're not thinking straight. You're not thinking about what you're doing. Your missus is down the street chasing him. Is she being attacked? Is she being murdered on the side of the street? We don't know. We don't even know if the gun's not even real at the time.
Yep, exactly. And JR, thank you for the $10. Should have given him a medal, not a jail sentence. Exactly. Well, here's something. About a month ago, a young labourer on the job site, he woke up with 3 huge islanders standing over him, on him and his missus in bed. They broke into his house. There's a scuffle inside. He stood his ground against these 3 guys. He was hit with a hammer in the back and had some pretty bad bruising, and he had his face cut open where he slammed the door on them to try and get his missus out the window, because you can only imagine what they're going to do to her. And they kicked the door open, cut his face open, and then bashed him with a hammer. But he kept on going, and he chased him down the street in the underwear and managed to, I think he said he clobbered one of them, and the other 2, then they all just ran away. And to this day, mate, the cops haven't done anything about it.
Epidemic.
And they actually came back a few weeks later, and he's had to just walk out of his house and grab all his stuff. He got a phone call at work middle of the day, said your house has just been broken into again. So he went home and he had to grab all his stuff, and they had to move out and find a place to live temporarily because they don't want to be back in that house again.
Yeah, and you think you wouldn't be thinking straight, you've just been smacked around the head pretty hard by, Acme Firearms said it good, the ice chimp with knuckle dusters. Yeah, mate, these guys get strong. They just don't. You've seen the videos on the internet. They're tasering him. They just keep walking forward like they're absolute zombies. Their bodies just don't react to, tasering and stuff like that. And they can be extremely dangerous, man. And, how his legal team didn't have a good defense there, I don't know. Maybe they did have a good defense and, the unfortunate jury was, full of people that, again, I wouldn't have convicted the guy at all, would not even remotely. I'd be saying, if I was the only one sitting there, say, sorry, I just can't convict this guy. Sorry, there's no way I can convict this guy because it's just not what I believe in. I just can't do it. So, oh, he's guilty. He's guilty. Is he? Is he though? People were minding their own business in their own home. Surely that has to count for something. They were going about their business. They weren't out partying on the street, iced up, junkying around. And I read the article where he attacked them because he thought they were drug dealers. So he obviously trying to score and rob them for free drugs. I mean, the whole thing just gets worse and worse and worse, Unbelievable.
They got to bring out a law if you're committing a serious crime like this, assault, robbery, anything like that. Your rights are finished. What happens to you is what happens to you. They could chase you 200 meters down the street and get wrap their hands around you, and you have no rights because you've committed the crime. This guy who I worked with said when it happened, as you said, he said you don't think straight, you just lose it, and all you just go into protection mode. He wanted to get his girlfriend out of that house. He was trying to hold 3 guys back, and then they finally kicked the door in onto his face. And he was just trying his best to get his girlfriend out of the window while these 3 guys were coming at him. Then she ran off, ready to get out, and they bashed him with a bloody claw hammer in the back. And if they hit the spine, he'd be paralyzed. And then he just wasn't thinking. Before he knew it, he was running down the street after these guys. And he didn't even realize it because he was just that hyped up and in defense mode. So you can't do people over this sort of stuff. You just can't.
Or just, some, I guess, you don't know what it's like. And these people are trying to put themselves into the same position as this guy. I mean, how can you really? I mean, we can think about what happened and how bad it would be. But, it's more the shock factor as well. You're not expecting this to happen. You're going about your business. Then all of a sudden, bang, something's on you happening right now. Like, bang, it's in your face and it's happening. You just wouldn't know you wouldn't be thinking straight at all. And I think it was the same thing here. I'm just reading Tezza Shooting Feral says, I'd be charged for not convicting him. You're probably right too. I'd be going to jail too for not convicting the guy. Knowing what we know about the police and trying to prosecute someone for defending themselves. But I guess that seems to be the conjecture about the impairment for the victim, meaning the guy that ran down the street and obviously lodged a sword in the middle of the guy's head, So that's obviously the point of conjecture. If he hadn't have done that and he'd done it inside the home, things probably would have been a lot different for him. But, hopefully he gets some good behavior and he gets out very soon. And again, not just his life's destroyed, everyone's destroyed. His missus is destroyed. The junkies, their lives been destroyed too because of his actions. And this is what it goes down to. You've got to be in control of your actions at all times. And,
held responsible for your actions. That's the problem with society these days. I know I sound like an old man, but you got to take responsibility for your own actions. You're the one in control of your fate. You're the one in control of what you're doing. So people have to take responsibility for that. And if you're an absolute shithead and you get killed in the process of being an absolute prick, too bad. Too bad. At bare minimum, this country, and the cops fight us on every single thing. We should be allowed tasers to be used at least anywhere on our property. If someone breaks into your home, you should be allowed to use a taser on your property. You could chase him outside and boom, zap him. You should be allowed to do that if you're still on your property. Bare minimum. They're not going to kill you. You should be allowed to have that. Some form of defense. Absolutely ridiculous.
They want to have guns, but they don't want you to have anything. Oh, but we need them. Our lives in danger. Well, okay, don't sign up for the job. England doesn't have guns. New Zealand officers don't carry guns, and there's no appetite amongst the community for those officers to carry guns. So again, until the average person can be able to defend themselves in their home, I've got to be honest, I'd be advocating to disarm the police as well. If you want to get down that path, then you got to learn, you got to live by what you agree with. And that's, if you don't think the people should be armed, then you can't be either. Oh, but we need them for our job. Sorry, not good enough. No. When people at the average Joe can defend themselves, then we'll start looking at it. Hence the reason why, the UK and New Zealand There's no appetite to change it. The police unions are always trying to arm the police and disarm the community. That's because they're sick, man. They're sick in the head. That's the whole point. Trying to continually disarm the community, yet continually arm the police with all types of weapons that the average Joe can't even get, and often a lot higher than that as well.
Yeah, well, Chris Miller's got it right here. If he was shot and killed by the police, there would be a medal for the cop. It's sad that we have no rights to defend ourselves. Exactly. So if the cop had shot him, he's saved. The guy turned on the cop. So the cop has self-defense, but we don't. What makes them better than us? We're all human. Why can't we have the right to life as well? That's just ridiculous. Now, a lot of people, I can tell you now, there's a lot of people, I've talked to a lot of people out there as well about it. They said they would be scared to do any form of self-defense in a situation because they don't know whether they're going to go to jail for defending their lives. They'd think twice about having a go at them. They would just try and lock the door and hope that it all finishes soon and the cops will get there on time, which they won't. This young guy at work said it all happened within a couple of minutes. They could have killed him within a time to phone the police for a start. You got 3 apes hanging over you, kicking your door in. You don't have time to phone the police. It's just ridiculous.
Happened to that young fella. Remember, I can't remember that case, but he just got off recently. Remember, a couple of weeks ago.
That was holiday house.
And then the girl came to his house and banging on the door, and 3 goons came in with the 3 goons, I think, and he killed 2 of them. And young guy's whole life's destroyed.
Killed one.
Was it one?
Killed one. Yeah, and it was dark, and was it with a kitchen knife? And he was just a teenage kid. I think he was 19 years old, defending himself. Some girl knocked on the door, screaming, being chased and bashed by the boyfriend, and 3 thugs broke in. And he turned the lights off, and they were strangling him to death. And he managed to grab a kitchen knife and stab the guy. The other 2 ran off, and the guy that was strangling him to death was found on the front lawn dead, I think. And here's a funny thing: only a couple of weeks ago, the family of the shithead trying to strangle a teenage boy was out saying, because there was some sort of coronial hearing about it, and the young guy didn't have to go to court because it was going to stir up bad memories, and he's mentally affected by it all. And the parents were disgusted that the kid wasn't in court explaining himself, and they wanted him dragged up in court. Just to say, your family member was a filthy scumbag who tried to strangle a teenage kid. Jesus, just accept it. He's a scumbag, and he got what came to him. It's not hard.
Yeah, I'm just reading that one. I was right with that one. The 2 men who fatally stabbed, the teen who fatally stabbed 2 men will not have to face victim's family. The Queensland teenager who stabbed 2 men to death in his home claims they forced their way inside, and moments earlier, a woman had knocked on the door asking for help and sanctuary. The victim's families say there are inconsistencies in the young man's version of events. Well, the only version is you try to chase a woman into a home, into an innocent person's home, but their legal action to force him to face them at a coronial inquest into the 2018 killings failed last week. Poor bugger, the poor kid.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was only one he got. Sorry, I stand corrected.
It was 2. Yeah, it was 2. Yeah.
I hate to say it, but Jason was right. Doesn't happen very often, but he was right. Here's Berica. Thank you for the donation. I've got a wife and 2 daughters. I would protect them until my last drop of blood. I don't care what would happen to me. Exactly. When you've got a family to protect, you do what has to be done. We're not advocating for breaking the law or taking the law into your own hands at all. We don't advocate that. Unfortunately, you do have to you don't chase them down the street, that's for sure, as we can see. But it'd be a horrible thing to go through. And I've talked to victims of crime, and the law is not on their side.
Yeah, so they broke into his front door, assaulted him, then he used a kitchen knife to defend himself and the woman by stabbing the intruders. Mr. Webber was not charged, with police concluding he was fearing for his own safety. Well, let's say some good news. But I mean, it took him a while before they actually come to a decision about not actually charging him and putting him on trial. So he told him to leave on numerous occasions, and his actions were justifiable as self-defense. So again, in the home. So you need to not chase people. That's a takeaway, I guess, from, you know, what do you do, man? I really don't want to be in this position. I really don't want to be having to, you know, get into a position where someone's in your home, man. It's probably the worst thing you'll ever have to deal with. And that's your home. That's your sanctuary. That's your place of safety, so to speak. But things can happen and people can get into your place of safety. So always be vigilant, guys. Lock up, get CCTV, you know, be vigilant.
Yeah, exactly. One thing everyone deserves is to feel safe in their own castle. That's for sure. But yeah, well, that was that story. Now we got 15 minutes left. We got something from South Australia. So guys, this is just an update for you guys. And Aaron from Texas here will find this funny. On the 7th of April, anyone with a Gel Blaster children's toy, you've got till then to get your gun license so you can keep a children's toy. So, guys, just remember, you got your Gel Blasters down in South Australia. It is the 7th of October. I've been informed that you have got to go get a gun license to keep your plastic toy that shoots water balls and can give you a mild wet welt, basically a wet willy. So,
I think one day we will get to some good news. There's got to be something out there. If you got any good news, feel good topics, let us know. Unfortunately, today there was no feel good topics because, you know, the guy went to prison. So what do? You know, we will get some good ones one day. Don't worry. There'll be some good news coming eventually.
Oh, yep. Oh, here's Rob's. I like his one. I have a dog for protection. I have 7 dogs on my farm. Yep, they'll pretty much do it. They still reckon even a small yappy dog is just as effective when they hear it yapping inside. Scumbags won't break in, even if they just hear a dog. So even if you've got a yappy doorbell dog, it's definitely a good thing. So here's Aaron Smith from Texas. Shooting Stuff Australia. You're fucking joking me. A damn water pistol. Yeah, it's sort of like a water pistol. Look up Gel Blasters. It's airsoft, basically, with little hydrated balls, gel balls. So they don't even really hurt. And they're the same balls you find in disposable nappies and at florists and home centres for when you're doing gardening. So they call gardening stuff ammunition now. And nappy. So nappies are like basically a high cap magazine, really, because they hold thousands of these things.
Yeah, let's read out some comments, man. Let's do that. Did you read out the super chats? They've been done too. Sorry if I've been reading the comments.
Yep. All we're up to date with super chats, and thank you guys for donating to the show. I really appreciate it. So here we have Epic Flyer. If South Australia only allows gun license owners to own a Gel Blaster that shoots water balls, then soon enough we'll need a gun license to shoot our own loads. What a fucking joke. It is beyond a joke, and they wonder why we are laughed at all around the world for our gun laws. They just think, people around the world just think we're a joke. And I've been talking to a guy who has a big channel in the UK who we're going to have on very soon, and he some of the stories he'll be telling us are just as bad. And some of their laws actually make our laws look good and vice versa. So it's going to be very interesting, that one.
Acme Firearms said, in SA, do you need to surrender the Gel Blaster ammo? Well, you can buy them from, it'd be like, Home Depot in America, Bunnings here in Australia, whatever there's, whatever those homemaker centers, florists, you basically buy the little, it almost looks like little mini sand, and you add the water to it, and they obviously, hydrate and become little balls. Like, it's just, I can't even believe in a show in 2021 we're having to talk about having to have a firearms license to have a toy. It's just, I didn't think we would get to this point. People said, well, it's probably likely, and I said, nah, we Australians and the government and the police, they couldn't be this stupid. But well, here we are, I guess. And wow, and Steve said banned in New South Wales as well. You can't even get them as a cat ale collectors, no serial numbers. Exactly. So what are we supposed to do in South Australia? They put a serial on it. You stamp it in. Where gun safe for a toy? I mean, come on. This has got to be a G up, man. It has to be a G up.
It's not a G up. I think from my recollection, the cops give you a number that you have to put on it yourself. That's my understanding. It could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that you get given a serial number for that gun. So what about kids then? There are kids' toys, and kids own these. Like, there'll be parents that aren't even remotely interested in it. So you can't get a 5-year-old kid to go get a gun license. They've got to be at least 11 or 12. So now the parents are going to have to go get a gun license for their kids' toys. So it's going to happen. The parents are going to say, "No, stuff that. The toys in the bin. I'm not going to go get a gun license." Or it could backfire on them. The parents could get a gun license. Think, "Hey, hang on, this is awesome. I'm going to go buy some guns." So now they're just getting more guns real guns into the community. So it could go both ways, really.
Well, I just hope we see, government, police see some sort of sense in this and just say this is a bit stupid. This is going too far. We should drop a lot of these things. And I know, but I'm hoping, and they see the errors of the stupidity. I mean, it's again, they're always saying, well, we're having a go at them. It's not really. They keep attacking. We're not doing anything at all. Not a single thing. They keep attacking law-abiding firearms owners. So all we'd love to do is just for that to stop, and we work together. That's all we're asking. I think that's more than reasonable. But whether that ever happens, and then they obviously getting upset when they say, "Well, you guys, hassling us, and it's not true, and social media is against us, and giving police a bad name. What can we do?" It's like, well, just don't do these stupid things, and you won't get a bad name. It's really just very simple. It's very simple to fix. Very simple.
Yep. Exactly. There's a conservative sniper. There are 4 cases in New South Wales in the past 20 years where homeowners shot armed offenders and the owners were found not guilty, even though they were not allowed to own firearms for self-defense. Yep, that is true, but there's other ones that have done it and been nailed for it, because there was one case of some competitive shooter. This is years ago. I read this down in Sydney. A guy broke in with a .22 pistol. The guy was at home smoking some dope, and he was an intruder came in with a .22 pistol loaded, pointed at him. There was a kerfuffle. He got the gun away from him and shot him basically between the eyes. Obviously, it was, to me, that's self-defense. Doesn't matter that he was smoking dope. It actually would have been a disadvantage to him. But their defense was, and he got something like 20 years. It was they used the thing that he was a competitive pistol shooter and he knew where to shoot him with one shot to kill him, not just maim him. And that was quite a few years ago. I saw that.
Most people would know, that getting shot in the head is bad, in the top of the chest, in the heart is bad, in the face anywhere is bad, in the stomach is bad, in the femoral artery in your leg is bad. It's all bad. There's no good parts of it.
No, exactly. So it can go both ways. I guess it's just on the day. And as the guy you interviewed for self-defense a few years ago, he said they are just there to justify their job, and the prosecutors for the government will go after you even if they know you're innocent, because it creates work for them. They don't give a shit that your life's ruined and you are bankrupt and you lose your home and your family. They don't care about any of that, because they just got to keep pushing the charges through to justify their jobs. And a self-defense case could keep them busy for years. That's basically just securing their income.
Yeah, let me just add this one for a sec, just quickly. If you guys want to listen to this, I'm just going to do a share screen. Yep. I'm just trying to find it, guys. 2 seconds. Oh, there it is. Yeah. So if I share this one here, you can see this, Aaron?
Yep. Okay. Yep. Here we go. Yep. That's it.
So looking at it here, this is the story with Don Brooks. You want to go back and listen to this one on my website. It's episode 127. A self-defense story with Don Brook. And he came to my house. That's actually the door. You can see the door in the picture. That's my door right behind me there. that we had a chat about. And we had a chat, and really, really nice fella. And, he was the victim of a home invasion, and he came down the hallway. They were in his thing. They turned. The guy tried to taser Don. He had a pocket knife. He stabbed him in the arm. The guy ran out from the side of the house, down the side of the driveway. Don called out, you need help. You need assistance. You need assistance. He yelled something like, I'm going to F and come back and get you. They got into the car. Someone was waiting out the front. They got into a car. And then one of those guys' mates end up dumping the guy that got stabbed from Don at the hospital, and the guy later died. So they end up finding the guy, and they didn't believe him about the taser, and they eventually found the taser, which was good. But I mean, he had to wait 3 years to find out whether he was going to be charged by the police and the DPP. And with the DPP, we're pushing for charges because they get paid regardless. So if you haven't listened to that podcast, I'd go back and listen to that if it's something you're interested in. Episode 127. But anyway, about to finish off. A couple more quick ones, Aaron. I'll just do the top screen.
That was one of your best podcasts, I reckon. That's the sort of stuff I like hearing. And I keep telling you need more stuff like that on your show. Here we go.
Bastard.
The junkie can cut himself on your property and you'll get in trouble. That's pretty much right. If someone comes to your home and hurts themselves, slips on a magazine on the floor, they can sue you and get done for it. I know, because I work in the construction site, I know builders who have been nailed and sued and taken to the wall because one famous one down here was this shitbag kid jumped 2 security fences, was stealing plywood to build skateboard ramps, and he jumped over one of the fences after robbing the place like 2 other times and broke his leg, and the parents sued the builder because there wasn't enough safety stuff to keep their son out from stealing his stuff, even though he had 2 security fences the kid had to go over, and the builder got nailed for it. That's just how crazy things are here. It was all for the criminal and not for the victims. It's just unbelievable.
Hopefully we can learn from this, man. Read out.
Griffo,
The thing there, he says, when are we getting the next bunny busting video? Well, if I go this weekend, I'm hoping it's good. I just did a thing from Mark. He was there a bit earlier in the afternoon. He said, definitely not as many rabbits as there once was. That's probably because we shot a couple of hundred for those videos over the last what would it have been? Probably 12 months. We've been there about 3. I've done 3 lots of 2 lots or 3 lots of 2 videos, so 6 videos. So I hope you enjoy them. I'm definitely going to make some more. I'm not going to be doing a lot of the shooting on this week's trip. I'm going to get the boys to shoot. I'm just concentrating on filming and having a good time, and going to do some cook-ups with the venison sausages that we've got the guys coming. Jonty's coming in again. He was on the I think that's the March videos. He was the first 2 videos that I ever made sort of in that format. So hope you enjoy that. So Jonty's going to be with us again. Of course, Mark, who's the friend of the farmer that we get access to, he's going to be on the trip as well with the 223. Jonty with the 6.5 Creedmoor, me with the 260. I've got to mount up a scope tomorrow for the 22. Might even try and shoot some, if I'm going to, with the 22, the CZ457 with the chassis. So I might even shoot that too if I can spend the first part of the day, because I'll be on my own for the first part of the day on the Friday, shooting on my own. So I'm going to just do a bit of sighting in, got some new scopes. So I've got to get them all sighted in and get them ready to go and hopefully hit them in the afternoon. So check it out. AHP Outdoors, my friends.
Yeah, that'll be good. It will be good.
And following some deer hunting in April. I'm going to follow a couple of the guys around a couple of days. I'm just enjoying filming, man. So I'd like to hunt, of course, but it's hard to hunt and film at the same time. Aaron knows what it's like when you're trying to film yourself and shoot and do all that. Yeah. So hopefully we're going to have some deer hunting, some state forest public land deer hunting videos. So, no, my luck, I'll film for the whole 3 or 4 days and nobody will shoot anything because we've never been this forest before. So, but, I'll make something regardless of whether I get something or not. So we'll see.
It'll be good. That'll be really good. You lucky bastard. I don't know anyone that goes on as many hunting trips as you. Most people go maybe once a year. They're just like, that's all it does. Work for the government, bludge off the hard-working taxpayers and have all these holidays continuously. Unbelievable. And here's Griffo. Same thing happened up here in Newcastle. Years ago, guy chased a pervert into his daughter's room and killed them by restraining him. It dragged him through courts, through years of shit. Yep. I think was that the guy who was just recently let off, who chased the guy down the street and strangled him?
No
that
idea.
was long ago. It sounds like that one.
Oh, that was Ben. What was his name? Ben something. He was in up Newcastle way. Anyway, give us a thumbs up. We're going to finish off 8:59. Let's just smash that thumbs up button before we finish, guys. We're at 133. Let's clear 150, you legends.
Yeah, definitely, guys. And it's been a great night. So I'm going to get through once again hundreds and hundreds of questions. Just fantastic. You guys make it the best part of my week coming on. It's we're averaging 800 to 900 people a night now watching this live, and it just skyrockets during the night. So it is fantastic. And here's our good friend Rose. 3 thumbs down from Soy Latte Vegan Tree Huggers. Yeah, they're normal 3 people's down. I'm expecting that because I've upset a few people lately. A few crybabies out there that can't handle the truth. So, yep. I was actually expecting more thumbs down, to be quite honest with you. So, yeah, that's not bad. 3.
What we were talking about, no one mentioned it, but I remember it was Benjamin or Ben Battenham. That was his name, Benjamin Battenham, for anyone listening. Anyway, let's finish off, man. Got to run.
Definitely. Well, thank you very much, guys. And please go and check out Recoil Designs. Their link is in the description. Go and buy a shirt and help out an Australian business. The guy's a top bloke, a really nice bloke, and he's an avid shooter as well, of course. So please go check him out. Go check out the NSC and join up to the only organisation fighting for our rights. So, it's been a great night, and thank you very much. Thumbs up of this video, and please subscribe to this channel, and we will see you next Wednesday night, and Jason should have some positive hunting stories. So thank you very much, and see you then.